Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to the crowds and to his disciples, "Woe to you, scribes, Pharisees, you hypocrites! You lock the kingdom of heaven before men. You do not enter yourselves, nor do you allow entrance to those trying to enter. Woe to you, scribes, Pharisees, you hypocrites! You traverse sea and land to make one convert. And when that happens, you make him a child of Gehenna, twice as much as yourselves. Woe to you, blind guides, who say, if one swears by the temple, it means nothing. But if one swears by the gold of the temple, one is obliged. Blind fools, which is greater, the gold or the temple that made the gold sacred? And you say, if one swears by the altar, it means nothing. But if one swears by the gift of the altar, one is obligated. You blind ones, which is greater, the gift or the altar that makes the gift sacred? One who swears by the altar swears by it and all that is upon it. One who swears by the temple swears by it and by him who dwells in it. One who swears by heaven swears by the throne of God and by him who is seated on it." The Gospel of the Lord. These are the first three of 7 woes in this part of the Gospel, which we will be tackling for the next 2 days after this. The woes. The first woe is, "Woe to you, you scribes, you Pharisees, you hypocrites! You look to the kingdom of heaven." You look to the kingdom of heaven. You take advantage of the simple folks, is what it comes down to. You treat people less than, and you avoid those who are in need. But at the same time, you are in awe over the temple. This contradicts the beatitude, "Blessed are the poor," where the poor are to be blessed and cared for. Blessed are the poor. Strangely enough, the blessed are the poor of the kingdom. They inherit the kingdom of God. And they're not, otherwise, in this woe, they are setting up an elitist cohort to take advantage of the temple and see themselves, the Pharisees, the scribes, the hypocrites, they see themselves as over and above. And so they're not really going to inherit the kingdom because they scorn it. But ironically, the poor will inherit it before them. Woe to you who make converts and make them a child of Gehenna. What is that? It's inflicting doctrine with such severity that it becomes fanatical, oppressive, and condemning. And if you don't agree with me, as the phrase goes these days today, if you don't agree with me, that means you hate me. this woe, it describes a situation where there is no mercy. For those who are converted, they become people who condemn rather than help experience mercy. And so we go to the next beatitude. Blessed are the merciful, they will obtain mercy. Which sort of says about the scribes, the Pharisees, and the hypocrites, the way you're going, you're not going to get any mercy because you haven't asked properly for it. The third woe, blind guides. It's all about oaths, the taking of an oath, oaths and promises that are compromised and allowed to do so. Duplicity, acting in bad faith and deception, in half-truths when making promises or taking oaths. The counter effect of that in the Beatitudes is the pure of heart. Blessed are the pure of heart, they will see God. The ones who are called the blind guides, they will not see God because they have placed themselves in a compromising position. They don't see the glory of God in truth. They see the glory of the God they want to have for their own in their own way. Blessed are the pure of heart, they will see God. The question becomes here for us, which side of the line are we on? Are we in with the Beatitudes or are we in with the woes? And probably, based on the situations of humanity, we may tend to even flip-flop into either of these pools. However, thanks be to God for the sacrament of reconciliation that is available to us, that where Christ can rescue us from being scribes, Pharisees, and hypocrites.
Regina Celi, letare, alleluia, qui aquam meruisti portare, alleluia, resurrexit sicut dixit, alleluia, ora pro nobis Deum, alleluia.